on offense. It was just up to us, Greg Knapp, to put it together. When I got to Philadelphia, it was Andy Reid. Andy Reid was an offensive mind. He was, it was something about him that attracted me to him every day, even if it was just for me to go into his office and just talk football on the random. So, just his aura alone and, his offensive mind just made me gravitate to him more and more. And it's some truth to that, But, with this situation, you got two guys who, share offensive mind, great at what they do, and can't find a way to make it work, which is kind of awkward right now.
So, listen, it should have been more. It was 27-24. If you wake up this morning and you're Brady, do you look at it and think we're in trouble? Or do you look at it and think, hey, listen, we just lost to the best team in the league 27-24, and we moved the ball on Kansas City the last half of the game. What's Brady thinking this morning?
It was second half heroics, but when you wake up this morning, the only thing I would be thinking about if I'm Tom Brady is the two games that we have to play against Atlanta, a divisional opponent. They're playing some good football right now, and they're playing aggressive, and they're playing with a lot of confidence, and it's not going to be an easy task beating that team. So, they still have some games in front of them, and they have to go out and earn it. They're going to have to go out and win, and they got to have to find a way to put it all together in a short period of time.
We were talking about Kansas City, Michael, that they remind me a little bit when Kevin Durant played with Steph and Clay. They scored so quickly and so easily that it's sometimes like you're just like, man, this is easy. And it's hard to play with urgency when stuff comes easy. And I watch Kansas City sometimes and I think, this is a little Warriors. Like there are times, do you see some of that?
Yeah, absolutely. And the reason why those guys play so hard is because Andy Reid is on the sideline. If you don't get it right, if you don't do what he's asking you to do within the framework of his offense, then you won't be out there playing. And it's a lot of guys to get credit for this. Obviously the entire offense started with Patrick, Eric Bieniemy, and it's a guy in that organization, quarterback coach Mike Kafka, who's a quarterback mind as well. We was together in Philadelphia, and another guy who's going to come up under that Andy Reid tree, just like Joy just mentioned, the tree is amazing. So, when you out there, you got to be on the same, everybody got to be on the same page. It can't be one person not knowing where he's going or not doing his job. It's very detailed in Kansas City. I'm telling you, I just know.
So tonight, I think it's one of the more interesting Monday Night Football games. Seattle is at Philadelphia. And I said this, is that when I watch Seattle, they've got all the ingredients of a Super Bowl team. They can play pretty. They can play physical. They're good on the road. I got Pete Carroll, Russell Wilson. They got playmakers. What's interesting is early in the year, they had no pass rush. But then they get Carlos Dunlap and Jamal Adams, and they have a young kid named L.J. Collier. And I watched them against Arizona, and I thought, oh, okay, here we go. All right, here we go. So if you go back to do you think, is it possible to solve a major problem with a football team halfway through a season?
Yeah, it is possible. I think when coaches look at the things that you don't do right and see a way to correct it, the great coaches are going to be able to correct those players. And if the players buy into what the coach is saying, it's going to be easy for them to execute. I think defensively, it's easy to fix that side of the ball whenever it's turmoil. You just got to pay attention to detail. And I've seen that happen on several teams that I played on, specifically in 2011 when we was 4-8 and we needed to win the last four to finish 8-8. And we did it. And our defense stepped up and we was playing a totally different scheme. And, it was the attitude and the mindset of the guys, but it was also them buying into the scheme and just believing in it because they didn't believe in it before. And we was able to rip off 4 straight. So it can be done.
So I'm watching Kyler Murray yesterday, and he struggled against Belichick. And Belichick owns young quarterbacks. So, and again, I'll say this, and I look at it now. I look at it now in hindsight, and I think, oh, of course I should have seen this. Yeah, of course. Tua's going to struggle against him, and Herbert's going to struggle against him, and Kyler's going to struggle against him. What does a great coach, maybe you face Belichick, what does Bill do specifically that makes it, that because everybody could copy what New England's doing, what does he do that makes even Kyler Murray struggle, young guys struggle?
It's almost like Andy Reid. I think in the National Football League, you have coaches who are good coaches, and then you have coaches who are great coaches. And Andy Reid is a great offensive mind. And when I think of some of the great defensive minds in the NFL, I instantly think about Mike Tomlin. I think about Bill Belichick. Why? Because they don't change. They believe in their scheme, and then they don't have to have players out there who are marquee players, Pro Bowl players who just play hard and play within the system, and they get guys to buy in. And the one thing to buying into a system is you got to like what you're doing. Players got to go home and say, "Oh, this scheme is amazing. We're gonna win with this scheme. I like it. We're gonna have opportunities. We're gonna create turnovers," and it becomes a reality. And when it does, it makes it easier to go out and play for a coach like Bill Belichick. But it all starts with the scheme. He's one of the greatest defensive minds the game has ever seen.
What am I to make of Cleveland? They're 8-3. They clearly have taken the ball mostly out of Baker Mayfield's hands. I do think they got the right coach, Kevin Stefanski. There's no noise. There's no chatter. There's no cockiness. But you look at him and you're like, I know they're 8-3. I don't like him again. I look at him and I'm like, I wouldn't like him against any of the good teams. What do you make of Cleveland?
I'll say this, Colin. Everything that I accomplished in my career, and the way I had to do it, the way it had to happen, especially early on when I was in Atlanta, I would trade it all for the way the Cleveland Browns are playing right now. Running the football and defense. Baker Mayfield's job is so easy right now. We always talk about managing the game. This is a true scenario of a guy just managing the game and doing it the way it's supposed to be done. And, as he do it, they continue to win. He don't turn the ball over. He don't have to worry about distributing the ball and putting the ball in this person's hands or this person getting their touches. Baker Mayfield can just be Baker Mayfield. And credit to the Cleveland Browns organization for building this type of environment around him, because it made their guy successful, who's under the spotlight and under a lot of scrutiny. And it's made their team better. Now they sit at 8-3, and it's something to be proud about.
Did you ever have a year like that where you felt it was an easier year?
No. I can't think of a year where I came out of it like, man, the defense performed. I take no credit away from the defenses I played with. I love every single teammate that I had. But it's never been a season where I was like, oh, the defense carried us that year. Not at all.
At least you're honest. I appreciate that.
I'm an honest man.
All right. Great seeing you, buddy. Mike Vick.
All right. Appreciate it.
Brought to you by Mercedes-Benz, the best or nothing. Coming up next, Denver people are complaining. They're saying, hey, they should have canceled the game. And the Ravens, they're playing tomorrow night. Should the NFL cancel the games, push them down the road? I've got my thoughts on that coming up. Plus, Colin right, Colin wrong, top of next hour. There's new news from our friends in Austin, Texas at Tecovas Boots. If you know Tecovas, they know how to make leather goods, wallets, bags, men and women. Right now they have three new stylish women's boots on the market. And now they're launching Tecovas Ranchwear. Collection of products ready to work and play as hard as you do. The boots are made with rubber soles, removable insoles. Straight Western jeans look great, straight leg. Every pair of boots fits with them. Super cool denim trucker jacket, corduroy collar, cuffs, super soft, durable leather chore gloves. Everything you like about the Tecovas quality is found in